We'll start with the Nation newspapers this morning. The biggest story, Soludo coasting to victory. And the riders here, Abuga candidate wins 18 of 20 councils. YPP, PDP take one each. Final result after supplementary poll holds in Ihala tomorrow. I'm thinking, okay, tomorrow, that's Tuesday. And just beneath that headline is how, results are happening. So let's talk about Anambra.
I'm sure we'll not stop to Anambra today because, it's the one single main talking point in the country today. Everybody has been looking, towards how those elections shaped up eventually. We're here Saturday morning trying to know how it started. And we're very happy that at the end of the day, there were no security problems because people envisaged that there was going to be a security crisis, But no, at the end of the day, people who are Anambra turned up and attempted to elect a governor. They have not concluded the process yet because according to the returning officer for the election, Professor Florence Obi, and I admire that lady,
Looking no nonsense?
Yeah, I admire the way she has managed. You cannot understand why she's a prof. She has managed the process decently and clearly no nonsense. Orumba North has issues. She settled it and the returning officer for Orumba North was saying things like, I was made to sign the election results on that protest. She kept asking him, was there elections or not? There was elections, but you signed a fake result. Okay, let's find the original result. Correct. And she found it, and now, otherwise we'd have had two local governments with issue. So she resolved that one. So it's Ihiala that is the local governments where elections did not hold at all. The coalition, the returning officer for Ihiala said, I didn't even go. There were security threats. It didn't look good, so I did not go to Ihiala. There was no election in Ihiala. Ihiala has over 300 polling units. New elections will now have to happen in Ihiala tomorrow, November 9, to determine the governorship election. And we cannot determine it now. The numbers are already clear. I wrote some things. The numbers are already there. But what this means is that because the numbers at the moment, let me try to explain it so that we understand this. The three major candidates in this election, the candidate of APCA, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, the candidate of the PDP, Valentine Ozigbo, and the candidate of the APC, Uba, at the front runners in this election. And after 20 local governments have been determined, as at last night, early this morning, Soludo of APCA is leading these elections. 103,000 votes. Ozigbo of the PDP has 51,000 votes. Uba has 42,000 votes. Uba of the APC. And what this means is that normally Soludo has already satisfied what you need to win an election. He has majority of votes. Total number of votes, he has the highest. And then, of course, he satisfied the constitutional demand of 25% of votes in at least 2/3 of the local government. He already satisfied. He won in 18 local government. Satisfied that. But Ihiala is contentious. Voting hasn't taken place. Ihiala has 148,000 registered voters. And Soludo leads Ozigbo 50,000. So what it means is that if, for instance, Ozigbo wins all 148,000 votes in Ihiala, he now, of course, surpasses Soludo. He can become governor. For that reason, these elections in Ihiala has to take place to determine who the governor is. Even though realistically, what we have seen is impossible that Ozigbo will win even 5,000 votes in Ihiala because the election turnout is less than 10%, 9.5% is the average election turnout in all local governments in Anambra after the election season. And this is what we have seen. So if we go by this, it means that in Ihiala tomorrow, there will probably be about 14,000 votes accredited. At the end of the day, voting will not even up to that.
For an area where election did not take place because of security threats.
Yes. So this is just, as some people say, academic exercise, but it has to be fulfilled. Otherwise, the constitutional mandate to elect a governor, according to the Constitutional Electoral Act, would not have taken place. So these elections indeed have to take place. But it's clear, it's champagne on ice already for Mr. Soludo. Going by what we have seen in the entire 20 local governments where elections have been determined. He won in 18. He even beat Andy Uba. He beat Ozigbo in their own local government. Of Agwata. He beat them there. Ozigbo only won in Ogbaru local government. And the YPP candidate is inconsequential in this race. So the Toifan Yuba won in Nnewi North. Tells you how popular he is in that part of the country. So what we are seeing for Anambra is an election that already concluded in the hearts and minds of the people, but constitutionally has to be concluded because of that one local government in Ihiala. So tomorrow, I think the process will just be concluded. But as it is, it's already champagne on ice for Mr. Soludo.
By model
Model voter accreditation system, the BVAS.
Let's look at that. Is that promising for 2023?
Failed woefully, Anambra. Failed woefully. I don't know why. INEC has to explain, why it failed. Most people that went to use that, it didn't happen, including Chris Ngige, the minister for labor. He sat down for hours. And every time they bring the machine, he puts his hand, does not recognize it. He puts his face, does not recognize his face. So it didn't work. So they had to resort to the old system of manually checking for registered voters before they allowed them to vote. So I don't know. Most times INEC was saying maybe it was network problem, maybe sometimes it was a battery problem, or the BVAS just did not work. I think it's something INEC has to check again. Things with this kind of electronic voting is that you have to practice it for a long time before you implement it. I think BVAS was just too do, hasn't been used again since then, and the plan to use it for Anambra did not work, so they probably have to check. But there are places where it worked, but overall it was almost a failure, this BVAS system in those elections on Saturday. But I think the most important thing about Anambra elections this weekend was the fact that it was generally free and fair. There were incidents of people trying to buy votes by giving people money. All that will happen, in a country like Nigeria, where again, we know the poverty level, people are likely to collect money. But in terms of organization, and security, especially the security agents, one must commend them. I think they were neutral enough to stand and watch how the process happened. At the end of the day, it was giant no incident at all. For the elections, no security incident, except of course for Ihiala, where there was a security threat. This security threat has not been explained. We don't know what it was, And I was asking my friend who is from Ihiala this morning to tell me what are the towns in Ihiala, so that we can understand if these are areas where we already know about. He was surprised himself why elections did not hold. I was saying the towns in Ihiala are popular to Okija. His own town, my friend as well, was Asia, Mbosi, Isieke, Uli. Uli is a very popular town in that Ihiala area. Remember, Uli has an airstrip. That was where Ojukwu left the country after the civil war in the early 1970s. The last print from Uli is even the book, that I have read. So Uli is quite a popular town and has been a quiet town recently. Why elections did not hold in Uli, I will not understand. But the Professor Obi has said because of security threats, and that's why it was suspended. So I'm sure tomorrow there'll be big attention on Ihiala, these 7 to 8 towns in Ihiala, and then probably the security agents will help to ensure that elections take place and they are free, fair, and credible. And then the final results will be determined for Anambra.
Did you enjoy this video? Hit the subscribe button for more, leave a comment, and like. Thank you.